Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Ian, and welcome back to another graded card returns video. So today I got quite the variety of Pokemon sets and cards for you today. So we got some Japanese stuff, we got some old Japanese, we got some new Japanese, and then we have some old Pokemon Wizards of the Coast sets, and then some of the newer stuff from like the Evolutions set. As you can see, I got a just a few of the new Charizard that came out. Still trying to find one that I think is really grade worthy to try and get close to a 10 or a probably like a Quad Plus or Quad Plus Plus as far as grading goes. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Also, just want to give you guys a heads up. I do have an Instagram as well that I just started doing in the last like 2 months. And if you want to find me, I'm just BGS Pokemon. So just how it says, and I'll try and put a link down in the description for you guys. So if you want to follow me, I post daily on there. It's a little bit easier for me because it takes like, I don't know, up 30 seconds to take a picture of something and then just post it up as opposed to trying to upload videos all the time. So I try to post like daily graded card video or graded cards. So, and it's a little bit quicker so you can kind of see some of the things that I'm getting faster. But actually, I haven't posted all of this submissions, new stuff at all on Instagram. So if you're a subscriber here, you'll be seeing some of these for the first times that my Instagram account hasn't been seeing either. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get some of this, or get this rolling for you guys. So we'll start off, let's do some of the newer Japanese stuff, and then we'll go into the older, and then we'll move into English. So if you recall, I did break 3 boxes of the, I believe it was XYCP6, also known as the 20th anniversary Japanese set, or our Evolution set. So I got some of those, I did grade quite a few of those cards. I started with the Charizards first, and some of the full arts that I really liked. And you know what? I'm actually missing a card, so let me grab that real quick, and we'll start that one. All right. Sorry, I completely forgot about this. I was looking at everything else, and I was like, oh yeah, I graded more than one of these, or all of these. So what I got here, we're gonna start this video off with a really sharp Black Label card. So this is one of the Charizards that I pulled out of the box, and not really much else to say on that. It is a Pristine 10 Black Label. Awesome stuff. So, and then I graded all 4 of the Charizards that I pulled. So along with the Black Label, I got 2 other Pristine 10s. So obviously Japanese cards are a lot easier to grade compared to English because their quality is a little bit stronger, but still, to get a Black Label on cards is fantastic and extremely hard to do. And then lastly, I did get 1 Quad Plus. So as you can see, not all of them are pristine quality, but nonetheless, still really strong grades on all of these Charizards. So there's another look at that Black Label. Really good stuff on that. So cool stuff there. All right, and then the other 2 cards that I graded first were the, I guess this is considered a full art for the Charizard EX. We got this in English in the Charizard EX, I think it was like Mythical Collection box, the big one. I think I opened that back in February or March of this year. So this one came back as a Quad Plus as well. And then the biggest pull out of the box, or 3 boxes that I did, was the Dragonite Full Art EX. This came back as a Quad Plus Plus, or in a Gem Mint 9.5. So really happy about this card. Really cool. I love the way this card looks when you reflect it just right. It looks so cool. So really good stuff there. All right, and then now, so that does it for the new stuff. I still have like a ton of things I need to grade out of the current stuff, but wanted to try and keep some variety going. So I did manage to grade some of the original base set Charizards. So this is a Gem Mint 9.5, came back with two 10s, a 9.5 and a 9 on the surface. So this is the second one of these that I've owned for the Japanese original base. And then I got another one that has two 10s, a 9, and a 9.5 on it as well. So brings my count up to 3 on those. And then I finally managed to get one of the CD promo Charizards, and it came back as a pristine 10. So this is awesome. I do need to fix the label because I do say it wasn't the base set. This is definitely not the base set card. But nonetheless, really happy about the grade. That's really what I care about most here. So yeah, another pristine 10. So I think I got quite a few this go around as far as 10s go. So this is pretty good submissions. Next up, we got the Neo 3 Ho-Oh. So this came back as a Gem Mint 9.5, with a 10 on the centering, 9 on the corners, and 9.5 on the other two, so surface and edges. And then going along with the Neo 3, we got the Raikou in Japanese. So this came back as a Quad++. Really, really happy about this grade. I really like the legendary dogs and their original artwork. It's just fantastic. Then we got the Suicune, who got a pristine 10, just getting one shy away, 1.5 away from the black label on this. You know, centering is the bane of card grading for me. So, and then going along with it, we got Entei. So really, really happy about the 3 legendary dogs. So I'm gonna try and maybe see if I can either find another one that is similar quality and maybe be able to get a 10 on it, or see if I can bump this one up to a 10, because I really would like to have the set in a pristine 10. Be some really, really good stuff right there. So that does it for the Japanese submission side of it. So let's go ahead. We'll start off with some of the older Wizards of the Coast things that I have. So I picked up another Flareon from Jungle, and this is a first edition one. This was actually one that my friend pulled from the box. This is the other one that we pulled. And as you can see, it just came out as a Mint 9. So it had still pretty strong grades, like 2 9.5s, 1 on the corners, 1 on the surface. The centering only pulled a 9 because it's from the left to right, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it may be able to bump. And then the edges, it were a 9 because it has... Oh, no, what was wrong with this one? It had whitening on the front, like most of the Jungle cards, and then it had a little, like, kind of like whitening on the edging, I think, right there. So a little tough on that because I mean, you can't really do anything about it. That's just how the cards are made. So, but oh well. Nonetheless, it's still a Mint 9 Flareon with all 9s or higher on it. So it's a really nice card. I really like how this card looks. So still pretty good. And then we got a first edition Slowking. This got a Gem Mint 9.5. Pretty happy about this. This card's actually been sitting in my binder for like 3 years now, and I just got around to grading it. So not too bad for sitting in there for so long. Really like the foil pattern on this card. All right, and then going along with the Slowking, who has also been sitting in my binder, is the first ed Steelix. So I got a 10, a 9, and 2 9.5. So for an overall 9.5 grade. Really, really cool looking card there. And then probably the one that I was most surprised about and kind of mad at myself, because I've graded like 2 or 3 of these before and they've all been 9s. This card has been sitting in my binder with the Steelix and Slowking. It's a pre-release Dark Gyarados, and it came back as a pristine 10. And I've just probably like overlooked this card, I don't know, 100 times. And finally one day I pulled it out of my binder. I was like, is this card worth grading? Because I was just trying to like get rid of stuff and clean house a little bit. And I was like, wow, this card is really, really strong. And obviously the grade reflects that. It is a pristine 10. So this will be going in my Team Rocket collection. And just kind of a spoiler, I did manage to purchase a first edition sealed box of Team Rocket that I'm on the fence about cracking to grade all of the foils and see if I can finish that set, because I'm really, really close to it. And I would also like to try and get some 10s out of it. So, let's see, I'm going to save those for a little bit later. So let's go ahead. I did buy a Southern Islands collection a while back from I don't know if you saw the previous video when I had the shiny Tyranitar. The same guy had this Southern Island set that had just been sitting. I'm pretty much sealed for the last like 10 years, 15 years. I think this came out in 2001. This needs to be updated, but so I had graded all the foils. So I got a 9 Slowking, and the edges were an 8.5 because it has that like silvering again on it. So I mean, can't really do anything about that. But had a 10 centering, 9 corners, and 9.5 edge, 9.5 surface, which is pretty amazing because these cards are so easy to scratch. So to get a 9.5 is just awesome on these, and I care most about surface usually on my cards, so I'm really excited about that. Next up, we got a Merrill, who pulled the 9.5 as well. This one only had a 9 on the edges, so had a little bit of silvering, but not as bad, but all the other 3 grades managed to get 9.5 or higher, so really happy there. Then same with the Lediba, I believe is how you pronounce it. So really like this card. I like the green foil on this, so it looks really good. So same grades as the Merrill. And then we have the Togepi, who also got the Gem Mint 9.5. Really strong grades there. And then I had a Vileplume, who had 2 10s, a 9.5 on the edges, and then a 9 on the corners. Really cool to see 2 10s on a Southern Island card, especially a 10 on the surface. Like, that's insane for this card. And then to finish it up, this is probably the best card. I mean, it definitely is the best card out of the set. And probably one of the best cards I had in this entire submission video. So there are only 4 PSA 10s in the world, and this is the only BGS 9.5. I'm going to see if I can review it and try and bump that edge. Because if I can get a quad plus on this card, that would be so strong. But nonetheless, getting a 9.5 Gem Mint Mew is, it's a really big card. So I was really excited about this. This card is awesome looking. So, all right. So let's go into, I have a couple like miscellaneous Pokemon cards. Actually, it was just like one. So I'm going to show this one. This kind of goes in hand with the Steelix and the Dark Gyarados and the Slowking. This has been sitting in my binder for a long time. I knew this card was really good. I just never got around to grading it. So it's the Rayquaza Delta species. I believe this is, EX, from EX Delta. So this is a quad 9.5 card. So really, really nice grades. Okay. And so next up, we got a couple of star cards here. And so the first part of it, let's go in order and show lowest grade. So I bought this lot off of eBay. When I was looking at everything, it looked really strong. And then the guy was super terrible at packaging. So it was an entire star lot of the evolutions. And so the Umbreon, unfortunately, is only a near mint 7.5, and the surface, as you can see, is a 6.5. And let's see if I can get it on the camera. I think you can kind of see it right there. I guess when the guy was putting it in to the top loader, he pressed down too hard or creased the card on the back. I mean, this card was probably going to be a mint 9. Potentially a 9.5, but realistically it was probably a mint 9, with the corners being an 8.5 because it does have some like whitening and everything on it. But I mean, even a 9 on this card is probably like $500 or $600, and now it's probably just pretty much what a raw card is. So thankfully the guy did like refund me some money on this because obviously I bought these cards to grade. I'm not just gonna, I didn't buy them just to have them raw, and I bought them in the condition that they appeared to be in. But super sad, but I mean, it's still a really nice card to have. I mean, these cards are extremely, extremely rare. But still a little bummed, but still really cool to own. And then I have the counterpart, the Espeon Gold Star, who got a mint 9. So this is probably what I was expecting the Umbreon to get, or around this. So, I mean, still really excited to have the Espeon Star for sure. really nice mint 9 grade there. And then next one up is the Jolteon Star. This is unfortunately another card that was damaged. When the guy was pushing it in, he pressed down too hard on the edge, and the edge kind of got bent. Hence why it only got a 9 on the edges. Otherwise, it probably would have been like a 9.5 or close to a 10. And then it did have some like corner whitening on it, but still really, really sharp looking card nonetheless. And it's still a mint 9. And next up, we got a Vaporeon Gold Star. Thankfully, this is one that actually managed to survive pretty well. So this got a Gem Mint 9.5, had a 10 on the surface. So really, really nice there. Really like this card. I've had one sitting in my binder, but it's probably like a 3. It has so much water damage and edge wear on it. I've just let it sit there for a while in a sleeve. It looks nice in the sleeve, but it has like really bad creasing. So I'm really glad to have a Gem Mint of that card. And then to finish out the set, the strongest card was the Flareon, who got a Quad Plus. So a 10 on the centering and 3 9.5s on the other subgrades. Really happy about this. And definitely the Shining Gold Star out of that set. And then lastly, to round up the other Gold Stars, I did manage to get another Latias Gold Star. I knew when I bought this card, I didn't expect it to be a Gem Mint 9.5, but even a Mint 9, and these are so rare. I think there's like 40 or something in PSA, and then, I don't know, like 2 Mint 9s for BGS. So even then, just finding these cards now, finding them raw like this is even amazing in this kind of condition, so I couldn't really pass that one up. I mean, it still had a pretty strong surface grade, so I was really excited about that. All right, so getting down to it, let's do these other new cards first. So I did grade my pre-release Charizard that the guy I played with across from me pulled this one. And so it got a Gem Mint 9.5, it has 2 10s, and it had a 9 on the corners and a 9.5 edges. And I'm not really sure what was on the corners on this. It may be able to bump. I think it was just like a slight whitening, if that. So, and this one is kind of cool. There's kind of 2 different printings I've noticed. I don't know if I can actually pick it up in the light here, but if you've seen some of the pre-release, some of them are full foil, like kind of how the Fates Collide foil was, and then some of them don't have that. I don't know which one's rare or if it actually matters, but this one is the full foil, so it's kind of cool. All right, and then the another really big card that I was really excited and thrilled to get back from the XY Evolution set. I got a Pristine 10 Mega Charizard EX Full Art. I was not expecting to get a Pristine 10 in this card. To get a 9.5 in new cards in general is amazing, considering how the quality is for English cards. So this is amazing. I know right now the PSA 10s are like $250 to $350 in that ballpark range. So I don't really know what this would be priced at, because usually Pristine 10s are above a PSA 10. And then like the BGS 9.5s, depending on their subgrades, are around the same, close to PSA 9s, or sorry, PSA 10s. So it's really hard to judge what this card would be worth, but I know it's worth probably quite a bit. Really excited for that. All right, and then lastly, I got all my grades back for the holo foils that I pulled out of my Gym Challenge box. So I'm gonna get these, make sure they're in order real quick. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go by their grades pretty much. So I'm gonna start from the lowest and work my way up. So the lowest grade and the only 9 was my Rocket Zapdos, and I'm super sad. So the only thing wrong with this card, there's no bends. There is a print mark right here. If you can see that, it's like a little yellow circle. Can't really do much about that. Everything else on this card is perfect. There's no bends, there's no weird invisible things, or there's really not that much whitening, hence the 295s on the corners and edges. But that print dot, I mean, it knocks it down to an 8.5 surface, so ouch. It really sucks. But I mean, it's a nice card nonetheless. It's still mint 9 from Gym Challenge. All right, now that that is out of the way, first card up, first card I pulled out of that Gym Challenge box that was a foil was the Sabrina foil trainer. And this came back with 3 9/5s and a 10. Good stuff right there. Got the Giovanni's Nidoking first edition. Came back as a quad plus plus, so 2 9/5s, 2 10s. Really strong grades on this. Really cool looking artwork too. I really like this card. And then we got Brock's Ninetales, who also got 2 9/5s, 2 10s. Really strong things there. And then the big daddy out of the set, Blaine's Charizard, who also pulled 2 9/5s, 2 10s. So those three are really close to 10s, so I may try and see if I can bump any of those. I don't know, we'll see, but I'm nonetheless extremely happy about those grades. All right, and now we get into like the white elephant that never occurs, with the exception of that like Mega Charizard that I showed you guys. I managed to get, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pristine 10s out of this box. So the first one is the Giovanni's Machamp. These are all pop ones for BGS. Like there's no other out there in the world right now. Got Lieutenant Surge's Raichu. So pristine 10. Sabrina's Alakazam. Really, really excited about this one. This is probably one of my most favorite cards from this set, next to Blaine's Arcanine. Koga's Beedrill. The foil Blaine Trainer, pulled a 10. And then probably the best 10, and I think arguably the most valuable card I think that I have out of it is Erica's Venusaur, who got a pristine 10. So it's really hard to judge the pricing on these because, like I said earlier on the Charizard, like BGS, or the pristine 10s tend to be more than PSA 10s. And the trend does show that. Like, I mean, the easiest example to show is like a base set first edition Charizard. The BGS 10 sold for like 12,000 when the PSA 10, and that was last year when PSA 10s were 4,000 to 5,000 range. So I mean, they can sell for almost double. And I think a Blaine's Charizard sold earlier this year before all the hype occurred. The BGS 10 I think sold for close to like 900. So just to kind of give you an idea of like what a BGS 10 holds, and as far as like the weight that it can bring. So I don't really know what these cards are valued. Like I can't give you a number or anything, but I do know that they're expensive, and it's really cool to see 10s because it is extremely hard to get English 10s. I think you've seen numerous videos on my channel, and I think the first 10 that I got in English was like the CD promo Pikachu maybe, and even then that's kind of a Japanese card. So I don't really get a lot of 10s very often, but I'm very thrilled for these. So guys, that brings it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sorry this was another long one, but it was quite the large submission. Now that I see that, I've kind of let them pile up so that way you get some pretty cool stuff to look at for a while. Yeah, like I said, be sure to try and follow my Instagram. I have some really cool stuff that I just show, and I show these cards a little bit closer. You get a little bit easier pictures. I know I do this on my phone, so it's not like I have the best quality camera or anything right now, but at least the pictures that I take are a little bit easier. You can look at the cards a little bit more closely and stuff like that. Also, heads up, I did regrade my Karen's Umbreon. That was a pristine 10, and that one also came back as a black label, so woo, more black labels. You can definitely find that one. As soon as I get that card back, I just saw the grade. I don't have it back physically, but I'll be sure to take a picture of that one on Instagram for you guys. So thanks again, guys, for watching, and until next time, I'm Ian. Take care.